Hi, my name is amypan. I'm the co-founder of Nativez. Today I just wanted to share with you all a story of mine with the topic of the difficult first step from corporate to startup. Back in 2015, I joined the MBA program, and that was the start of me taking into the entrepreneurial world. I was a middle class in a corporate, and I have this thought of wanting to be an entrepreneur one day, and it seems so far away. I have an idea, but I don't know what to do with it, and I don't know where to start. So I bet this is maybe a lot of people have the same kind of idea and thought. And what changed to me was in 2015, I joined the Business Lab with Hong Kong U MBA program. It was a regular class. I took it because I wanted to give it a try. And maybe my friend took it, actually. It was a very random reason. I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I have the idea, but taking the class was just kind of like a random things. And going in, I remember the first class, my professor, Petrol, wanted us to pitch any idea that we have. And I was so nervous to do it. I know I have this idea, but it's just, everyone has that idea. So I just, I don't even wanted to do it at first. But because of extra credit, I went up and pitched it. I was so nervous. It was my first time ever to pitch something in front of people. And it was like 2 minutes, pitch my idea. It was the original idea of Nativez, the startup that I currently owned. And it went well. People clapped, they don't think that's a stupid idea. And I was really excited. And that was the time that I think getting a little closer from I had no idea what to do with my, my thing, till actually someone think that what the idea that I have is a good one. So with that, I started the course. It was a 3-month period. And from that, it turns my idea into an executable business plan. And that's about 3 months later. So we have a great pitch at the end. I have a team. Actually, the people that I met in the class, 3 of the people that I met turned out 2 of them become the co-founders of Nativez. And there we go. So everything seems great, and we're very excited. We have this business plan. And once the class finish, everything's done. So I'm back to, I still going to the 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. work that I have. But this time I have a business plan. I feel like I'm very close to being an entrepreneur, and my idea has become something real. But here's comes another problem. Do I really want to become an entrepreneur? Really? It's fun to think about that. To just, just to imagine, I can control my own time off work. I don't have to go to office every day. It's exciting, it's fun, and one day maybe I'll become, millionaire with my idea and stuff. It's fun to think about it, but when you really, really think about, can I jump or making a change, making the difficult first step, changing from a corporate environment, working, with my day job and going into a full-time entrepreneur, can I really do that? That became a really difficult question. It took me a long time. I go to work every day, but at the same time, I'm thinking about it. I have this business plan, I have my team, people think that it's a great idea. Should I go with it? Yes, no, yes, no. So it's been 3 months, and very randomly, one day, I read about an article. It's about things that people regret when they're old. I know it sounds a little lame, but true. Trust me, it's a true story. So I read this article, and it lists out the things that people will regret when they're old. And it get me thinking, what will I regret when I'm old? I know this is just things that, when people talk before during the campfire or something like that. But I haven't really think about it. So that was the moment that I started to think, so what are the things that I will regret when I'm old? And if I do not take this, opportunity of executing the business plan that I have and becoming entrepreneurial, would I regret when I'm old? And it just hit me. It's a clear yes. Like, I will definitely regret, I think. And, if I keep doing the things I'm doing and being where I am, which is very comfortable, I think I will regret. That was a clear yes. So that was the moment that got me decide, okay, I'm taking a different path. It's challenging, it's unknown, I don't know what will happen, but that's what I want to do. And I think it's, if I really asked it in my mind, I think, that's something that I will do and I will not regret, or I will not blame myself, 50 years from now and saying that, why would you, there's an opportunity present right in front of you, you don't seize it. So that was the moment I know that I need to take the leap. Like, I need to make a change and become an entrepreneur. So 3 months later, I left my full-time job, and there we go. I started my entrepreneur journey, incorporate my company, and with my team, we pitched to Cyberport, Hong Kong. We got a fund, and then we released our first app 6 months later. So if everyone who's watching this or listen to this, and if you ask my comments or my sharing of how do you do the difficult first step, like what are the things that you should think about if right now you're thinking of that, ask yourself, like, would you regret 50 years from now if you have never tried this? And to me, that question worked. Like, that's the question, that's the moment that makes me want to do. And if you ask this question yourself and you're thinking this is a clear yes, I should just go for it. It's about a year in to my startup, and here are just some of the, I'll call, lesson learned that I wanted to share. It's always a great story to tell people. I'm the co-founder of Nativez, and it's, I did a startup, but along the way, there are some really critical things that I think I want to share with, everyone, and some of the lessons learned that I have. So number one is what I really think will happen. What I think will happen and what really happened. So when I decided to go with the entrepreneur journey, 3 things that I think I have already, get there, I own, that could make me success. Okay, 3 other factors that make me success. Number 1, I have an in-house developer that can help me to build an app, which I think it's a luxury. A lot of startups couldn't even have their in-house developer. So one of my team members is actually in-house developer, and we can pretty much secure that we'll have an app. Number 2 is I think we have a great idea, which a lot of startups would think. So I'm able to make an app, and I think the idea works. And number 3 is the finance. We got the fund from Hong Kong Cyberport. So, and with the team that I have, we think we'll be able to continue with the funding that I have to a point that we can have revenue income. Okay, so the other 3 things that I think I have, which will make my startup success. And what reality is, so number 1, we did launch the app in 6 months. We had a great launch party. Everybody came. We have about 80 people. Actually, we booked a place for 60 people and 80 people show up. So we were thrilled with that. And we have published, and then we have people sign up. And this actually did not work. It's actually one of the things that it's hard to even admit that it's a fail. Like, I'll just put it this way. So the first version of our app was a fail because we did not listen to our client carefully. So even though having an app doesn't mean you have a successful startup. It's just an app. There's so many apps out there. You need sales to go with it. You need sales pitch to go with it. You need continuously updates, with users' feedback, and you need the first base of your client to really like your product and then help you to get your words out. And that's all the things that comes after you have the app launched. So the reality for us is we actually have our version 1 launched the way that we think our client likes, but it's a fail. So we think they like, but in reality, it's not the most user-friendly app that they can use. So my advice here is to, even though you have a product that you think people will like, already exist, you still need to listen to the client's feedback. Because sometimes we use the app, imagine that we are the client, and we think that's a great app, but the use case just there's a lot of use case. It could be a lot. There's different kind of use case. So you really need to listen to customers' feedbacks and do it early. And I mean, it's failed if you have to, just like us. So what we did is we start our version 2 with a lot of changes. Sometimes that's what you have to go through, but listen to the customer early on if you can. So number 1. So number 2 is the idea. So I think we have a great idea, but a lot of time it's just not the way you think it is, the world. So Native is an app that connects language learner with language teacher. We start with giving the flexibilities to the learners. They can pretty much use our app like Uber, and to just key in the time, putting the time and location. But later then we found out that's not really the way that people wanted to find a language teacher. That's just my example, my story. So a lot of you out there, if you think that you have a great idea, great. That's the first thing you need. But also you have to be open-minded sometimes that your idea may need to tailor a little bit along the way. And you have to be open-minded, because I think it happens to all of the entrepreneurs, because you need to be confident, you need to trust yourself with the idea that you have, and you think you can make a difference in a specific area. But sometimes, in my case, even though I think my idea is a great one, but in reality, sometimes you have to listen and be open-minded even though if your original idea, and make it a better idea. That's my lesson learned. And then number 3 is the money. So we have the finance that we got from Cyberport and even our own team, but things goes fast. Money goes fast. So if you are, in my own story, it's just everything needs money. Like, especially in my case, because I left my full-time job and I started my startup journey full-time. Very concentrated. I tried to make everything right. But you will very soon find out that having a stable revenue stream is very, very important. So my lesson learned here is you will spend more money than you think you will. Having a great investment at the front is great. Having a stable income may be even more important, which will lead to my second point that I wanted to share with you, a stable revenue stream. In my case, I quit my job to start Entrepreneurial. Am I regret that? No. Would I reconsider that if you give me another chance? Maybe yes. Would I recommend people to do that? No. I would not recommend anyone to quit their job to do entrepreneurial full-time. Here's why. First is the revenue stream that supports your daily life. So if you quit your job and start, it shows in your commitment. You have a lot of time to do. You have a lot of energy to put into that. But then, because things move slow, usually up front, it will quickly get into a space that you lost your revenue stream for daily life, and you will start to nervous. You will, because you expect your startup to have income and stuff coming back at some point that you think, but it's usually not going to happen. So my recommendation in here is have a stable revenue stream. If it's a full-time job, great. If you have a side business that can give you that, perfect. If you have an investment give you that, even better. So because in my case, things worked out for me now just because it was lucky. I have other than Native, I actually have another business which is an off-site traditional business that gives me a stable revenue stream. And I think that's actually one of the main reasons why I can continue doing this startup and in the entrepreneur journey. So my lesson learned here is make sure you have something that keeps you going, because you don't know how long it will take for your startup to get back the revenue stream that you get when you were working as a full-time. If I make it clear. So don't quit your job. Make sure you have a stable revenue stream. Even start, sometimes I think the story of Chipotle, I don't know if you guys heard, the founder, that inspired me a lot too. When he founded Chipotle, he actually wanted that to be a stable revenue stream so that he can do a fancy restaurant. True story. And then turned out Chipotle to be really successful in the US. But I think that could also be something. So don't be, afraid of something to start something traditional, because traditional business sometimes can give you a very stable revenue stream, and then do your, ideas like technology ideas that may come in a little slower. Do them at the same time. That's also a way. Or have your full-time job to provide you, to support you, and do it your startup little by little. Once it take off, then you can go into full-time. So that's my lesson learned. Moving forward in 2 years, I think I will still be entrepreneur. I loved it. I would never regret what I did and along the way. And if you really ask me where do I see myself exactly in 2 years, I will put that as an open-ended answer. So, because I don't really have like a, the thing that I really wanted to achieve, because I think in entrepreneur journey, you always have to be open. You need to seize an opportunity that you see fit, talk to as many people as you can, because you never know what connection can give you and what, different occasions, opportunities, events, clients, investors that you talk to can lead you. So I really, open my mind, like I get myself open for what's gonna happen. But my general direction is I'm still wanted to build something from nothing, which is, my startup, and I'm confident that as I consistently continuing doing the things that I love, and I believe in my idea, and I think one day that, looking back, I think it's all worth it, and people will be benefit, and I will make, even just in the language world, a better place with my products.